Hello and greetings. Now, our group, which is Group 1A, will present our slides regarding about our chosen project, which is Project Perumahan Rakyat, Affordable Apartments and 17 units of double-story shops. For the report outline, it consists of 5 parts. The part 1 is group introduction. Part 2 is concept and relation between chapter 1 and 2 with documentation and evidence. Part 3 is quantities derivation from drawing and specifications. Part 4 is build-up rate with relevant references. And the last one is conclusion. For part 1, which is the group introduction, our group consists of 5 members, which are Jasmina Basla binti Jun Iskandar, Ruzaiti Azni Justi, Karvintan Kalei Cevan, Justin Harin Jr., which is myself, and the last member is Jocelyn George Juin. Moving on to part 2, which is project background and details. Contract is provided as written confirmation by a client or employer that a tenderer has been successful and will be granted a contract. Contract normally include information such as the amount of the award, the date of the award, and the date on which the contract will be signed. Here, we can see the letter of award, which is the proof of the agreement that has been made by KTI Sendirian Berhad with CID Construction. Next, instruction to tenderer. Tenderers must follow these steps while preparing and submitting their tender offer. There is also information on the tender filing and assessment procedure, as well as the contract awarding process. The tenderer, which is CID Construction, need to submit a detailed work program, including machinery and manpower. All of these items must align with the schedule. Moving on to type of tender. Here, we have 4 types of tender, which are open tender, selective tender, negotiation tender, and pre-qualification tender. First, open tender is a type of tender where it advertises the proposed projects and it allows any contractors to apply the tender documents. But this type of tender is called as wasteful of contractors' resources. This is due to the fact that the contractors notice that their chance to get this contract is slim, and it will result for the contractors to not study the contract properly. Selective tender is a type of tender where it invites selected bidders to bid. The advantages for the selective tender is experienced contractors will get involved with the bidding process. Negotiation tender is a type of tender where selected contractors will submit their price, and it is usually used where the deadline is very tight. Last but not least, pre-qualification tender is a type of tender where it identify the qualified contractors and will invited to join the bidding process. For this project, negotiation tender has been used.
Hello, I'm Jocelyn George Juin. We'll continue to discuss about the terms and conditions. Generally, for terms and conditions, first thing to do is contractor prepare and submit the tender. Then complete the terms and conditions and include as part of its tender. Next is inform the company in writing manually or electronically by the date specified. Finally, submit the tender by the date and time specified. For a selected project, the CAP Construction had been awarded as nominated subcontractor with few terms and conditions such as the date of site possession, overall completion period, contract completion date, defects liability period, retention sum limit, liquidated damages, performance bond, architect, and also contract sum. Moving on to the next part is the contractual relationship that can be defined as a legal bond that involves at least 2 people to agree on a term and agreement. Usually, the connections is between the general contractor and also the owner. There are 2 types of contractual relationship, which are design bid build and design build. The design build bid is where the owner contracts separately with the design company that creates the construction papers and the contractor who actually construct the structure. Whereas design-build relationship is a technique in which a single entity, the design-build team, operates under a single contract with the project owner to offer the design and construction services. So let us go through the figure that is shown in the slide. We can see that the main contractor or client is KTI Sendirian Berhad, having a contractual relationship between the consultants, supplier, subcontractor, and also the CAT Construction as the nominated subcontractor. Now I'm going to present about the preliminaries. So what is preliminaries? So generally it describes the work as a whole and to specify the general conditions and requirements for their execution, including things as subcontracting, approvals, testing, and completion. There are several preliminaries that have been included in the cost of contract work and or contract sum, and two of them that are listed are: number one, provision of all necessary preparation, supervision, labor, material, tools and equipments for the execution of the contract work. Number two, all construction works to be carried out and complied to the satisfaction of client, architects and engineers. Next is the contracting method. In general, there are three methods that can be implemented. First is the design and build, which is a single source of responsibility and most initial stages of the project. There are 5 different varieties of design build, such as develop and construct, design and build single stage tender, design build, 2-stage tender, negotiated design build, and also designed and managed and turnkey. The second method is the traditional design build. It is a procurement requirement fit, and it is an easy method to obtain the direct competition. Thirdly is the construction manager, which is a professional management team that in charge for administering work, monitor and observe. For our selected project, the method used is the traditional method, design bid build, due to the design state and the construction state that does not happen concurrently. Let us continue with the bond and insurance. First, let me define these two terms one by one. Bond is a guarantee that the terms of a contract are fulfilled. If the contracted party fails to fulfill its duties according to the agreement, the contract owner can claim against the bond to recover financial losses or stated default provision. There are 3 types of bond, which are bid bond, or also known as tender bond, performance bond, and payment bond. For insurance is basically an exchange for payment of a specific premium. A corporation or the government agrees to give a guarantee of reimbursement for specified loss, damage, disease, or death during the construction. And for our selected project, it does not have performance bond, but instead they use retention sum. So retention sum costs deduction of 10% of the total work with limit of 5% of the contract sum. Furthermore, for the insurance, it has been procured on the contract document, and CAT Construction are allowed to add additional insurance. Then we have the variation works, or also known as variation order. The definition is the alteration in the scope of work. For our selected project, architect is expressly empowered by the conditions of the main contract to issue instruction which may require a variation. The term variation are used in these conditions shall have the following meaning. First, alteration or modification of the design, quality or quantity of the said works. Second, the addition, omission, modification or substitution of the said works. Third, the cost of such variation, so carry out, shall be proportionately derived based on the schedule of rates from the attached bill of quantities and the final off-site measurements of work done. And fourth, any extension of time, EOT, so granted for the execution of variation of work shall be derived proportionately based on the original quantum of work and its relative period of completion stated in clause 4 of this letter.
Now, with me, Jasmina Bazla, let us move on with other element in the contract, which is payment. Payment is the exchange of some source of value, such as money, services, or assets that involve between two parties. So for this contract, it involves between KTI Sdn Bhd and CAB Constructions. There are several procedures in making payment. Firstly, payment application or payment notice. Secondly, due date for the payment. Thirdly, payment notice or default notice. Fourthly, payless notice where payment application issued. Next, final date for the payment, and last but not least is the final payment. So, method of payment used for this project is interim progress payment. The KTI Sdn Bhd will make payment at the end of each month depending on the amount of work done by the CAB Constructions. Next is the date of completion. The date of completion is the date where the contractor is expected to finish their job. For this project, the date of completion is on the 23rd of May 2021 with a completion period of 243 days. Next is the extension of time, or also called as EOT. EOT clause offer a method for adjusting the completion date for a construction project if it necessary, while also protecting the customer or clients. There are several challenges that could delay the construction project, such as problems with resources, cost overruns on critical construction parts, and outbreak. As what I have mentioned before, the completion date for this project is on the 23rd May 2021. So, if there are delayed in work progress, the CAB Constructions are required to apply the EOT with an acceptable reasons. Besides that, there are also other elements which are liquidated and ascertained damages, LAD. LAD is an agreed upon a number of damages paid by the contractor to the employer for a specific violations on the contract, usually a delay in task completion. As stated in the contract, CAB Construction will also be charged if there are no progress in the construction work. Besides that, CAB Construction will be charged Rm 500 ringgit per day, which equivalent to 0.022% of the contract value. Next element is estimations. There are several types of estimation, which are design estimate, bid estimate, and control estimate. Firstly, design estimate. Design estimate is done during the design stage, which consists of several estimates. Secondly, bid estimate. It is conducted during the tender stage. This bid estimate shows the interest of the tenderer towards the project and will help them to secure the job. These estimations involve quantity takeoff. Lastly, control estimate, where the assumptions of the possible cost. Basic approaches also implemented for these estimations. The last element for this part is defect liability period, DLP. DLP is the time where the contractor is required to rectify or repair any defects at their own cost. The defects may be due to faulty materials or workmanships. The LP for this project is 12 months after the CPC, which is Certificate of Completion Practicals, is obtained. So that's all for the elements in the contracts.
Moving on to the next part with me, Ruth IT. I will be presenting chapter 3 of our PBL assignment, which is quantities derivation from drawing and specification. Our group has prepared the related elements of building from the works below the lower floor finish until the frame, or to be exact, the foundation, ground beam, ground slab, ground floor columns, staircase, roof beam, and roof slab. For example, in this slide, we have the upper floor construction in which the roof slab. The quantity of each element of roof slab, such as formwork, reinforcement, and concrete, are calculated from the taking of quantities. While on the other hand, all the rates in ringgit Malaysians per unit used are referred from the rate of each element calculated from the built-up rate, which will be explained further after this in part 4. Next, we have the taking of quantity for the building structure. In this slide presented is the roof beam and its element, which are formwork, reinforcement, and concrete. All calculations for taking of quantity are done in detail by using the dimension paper. For checking of quantity, it is vital to be able to read and understand all the project drawings. Moreover, each element must be calculated by their own formula. For instance, we must know what is the specified concrete cover for the ground beam. In the slide, the specified concrete cover is 40 mm and 30 mm for in contact with ground and not in contact with ground respectively. Then, we calculated each bar according to their width and thickness, such as 2HB1 for section 1 until 2, where the bar is specified as 230 mm by 600 mm from the drawing. Noted that the quantities of top and bottom rebar are calculated separately. For the bottom bar, in example, we have divided it to 5 subparts which are A, B, C, D, and E. For A, the thickness of ground beam is subtracted with both concrete cover in contact and not in contact with ground. Then, B and D are calculated according to the bend formula, which is 2D for 90 degree and 0.42D for 45 degree. For C and E, the measurement is referring to the length of the ground beam. The total length of one unit bar is the sum of A plus B plus C plus D and plus E. The unit for reinforcement used is in kilograms, which the total length must be multiplied by pi d square over 4 times 7 at 50 kg per meter. Lastly, to get the quantity of bottom bar to HB1 section 1 until 2 for the whole project, we must refer to the provided drawing to know how many bars are used for 16 units and multiplied with the quantity of 1 bar.
Salam sejahtera, saya Karvinten dan hari ini saya akan membentangkan tentang build-up rate yang terdapat pada chapter 4 PBL kami. Kami daripada kumpulan 1 dan ini merupakan slide bagi build-up rate kami. Projek kami adalah proposed development on 169.81 acres on title number CL04511599 KM4 Jalan Tuaran, Kota Belud, Sabah, 17 unit of double story shop. Sebelum itu saya ingin memberitahu bahawa segala harga machinery, manpower, formwork dan sebagainya kami dapati daripada surveyor online yang saya telah meletakkan linknya di dalam slide, dan juga material bagi tying wire juga saya telah meletak di link di bawah slide. Jadi saya akan membentangkan tentang elemen foundation sahaja, kerana elemen yang seterusnya adalah sama cara pengiraannya daripada ground beam, ground slab juga sama seperti yang akan saya bentangkan selepas ini. Oke, kita mulakan dengan excavation work for topsoil. Nilai kuantiti total quantity ini adalah saya dapati daripada Ruzaiti, kerana beliau yang membuat taking off, dan total quantity itulah yang kita akan gunakan untuk pengiraan bagi elemen tersebut. Sebelum itu kita kena tahu bahawa price rate untuk machinery adalah 1,000, di mana kami mendapatinya daripada kuantiti surveyor online, dan ia telah diupdate pada bulan Ogos. Dan RM1,000 Malaysia ini merupakan harga bagi excavator sehari tanpa diesel, dan dianggarkan assume work hour adalah 8 jam. Jadi 1,000 kita bahagi dengan 8 jam, kita akan dapat 125. Apabila kita mendapat 125, seterusnya kita kena tahu bahawa harga diesel adalah RM2.20 per 1 liter. Excavator ini full tank adalah 31.5 liter. Jadi total diesel price untuk excavation ini adalah RM69.30. Productivity ini pula ialah meter cube per hour, di mana berapa kebolehan excavator itu bekerja, berapa tanah dia boleh korek dalam 1 jam. Jadi kita assume sahaja 30, dan apabila kita mendapat productivity ini, assume work hour, kita tambah dengan diesel price, kita bahagi dengan 30, kita akan mendapat RM6.48. Ini merupakan rate of machinery, hanya untuk mesin sahaja. Seterusnya manpower, kami memilih skilled worker dan ia juga local workers dengan harga RM95 satu hari. Dianggarkan bekerja selama 8 jam. 95 kita bahagi dengan 8, kita akan mendapat RM11.86. Dan juga productivity ini kita akan assume sahaja RM11.86, kita bahagi dengan 0.6, kita akan mendapat rate of labor adalah sebanyak RM19.77. Dan seterusnya money, overhead and profit, di mana subtotal mission and manpower ini kita akan tambah rate of machinery dan rate of labor, lalu kita akan mendapat subtotal machinery and manpower. Profit ini juga kita akan assume, di mana kami mengassume sebanyak 10%, jadi 26.25 darab 10 bahagi 100, kita akan mendapat RM2.63. Lalu kita akan tambah segala rate of machinery, rate of labor, serta profit, dan kita akan mendapati nilainya adalah RM28.88. Dan ini merupakan rate untuk excavation yang diperlukan bagi topsoil. Lalu kuantiti yang kita dapati adalah 203.43. Kita akan darab dengan rate yang kita dapat tadi, dan kita akan mendapat amount untuk pengorekan sahaja adalah 5.875.06. Excavation for pile cap and column stump juga sama seperti excavation work for topsoil. Harga mesin juga adalah sama, harga manpower juga sama, hanya kuantiti sahaja berbeza. Dan kita akan mendapat rate of excavation bagi pile cap dan column stump adalah RM30.29. Lalu kita akan darab dengan kuantiti bagi excavation for pile cap and column stump adalah 77.92. Kita akan darab dengan 30.29, kita akan dapat RM2.360.20. Seterusnya, ini merupakan langkah-langkah seterusnya. Anti-termite, harga rate untuk anti-termite bagi meter square adalah RM3.50. Kuantiti yang kita perolehi adalah 105.06. Lalu kuantiti darab dengan rate, kita akan dapat 367.71 anti-termite hanya untuk foundation. Aggregate juga sama, rate adalah RM50 untuk meter square. Kuantiti yang kita perolehi juga 105.06, dan kita darab, kita akan mendapat 367.71 sen. Seterusnya bagi lean concrete ini merupakan grade 15. Seperti yang kita tahu, klien telah menyediakan rate bagi 1 meter cube concrete adalah 225. Lalu kita menganggarkan shrinkage and wastage adalah sebanyak 20%. 225 kita darab dengan 20/100, kita akan mendapat RM45 sebanyak 20% wastage. Total rate for lean concrete material, kita akan tambah rate bagi 1 meter bersama dengan wastage, dan kita akan mendapati RM270. Seterusnya machinery, kita menggunakan mobile crane. Mobile crane berharga RM600 satu hari. Ia berbeza dengan excavator tadi. Dan assume work bagi mobile crane ini sepanjang 8 jam. Kita bahagi 600 dengan 8, kita akan mendapat RM75. Concrete truck transport per trip of 6 meter cube. Satu concrete truck membawa 6 meter cube, dan harganya bagi transport saja adalah RM15. Maka RM15 ini kita bahagi dengan 6 meter cube, kita akan mendapat 2.5. Productivity juga kita assume sebanyak 3.5. Maka 75 kita tambah dengan 2.5, kita bahagi dengan 3.5, kita akan mendapat Rp22.14. Seterusnya kita akan ke manpower. Manpower kita akan menggunakan semi skilled dan local workers dan berharga Rp75 satu hari. Assume work adalah sepanjang 8 jam, maka 75 bahagi 8 kita dapat Rp9.38. Convey and plan lean concrete to foundation juga merupakan assume. Kami mengassume sebanyak 3 dan kita akan 9.38 kita bahagi dengan 3, kita akan mendapati sebanyak Rp28.13 untuk rate of labor sahaja. Money, overhead dan profit kita akan tambah ke semua rate yang kita perolehi daripada material, machinery, labor, dan kita akan mendapat sebanyak Rp320.27. Dan kita akan darab kepada profit 15 bahagi 100 dan kita akan mendapat Rp48.04. Total rate of lean concrete kita akan tambah total rate bersama dengan profit dan kita akan mendapati kuantitinya rate adalah 368.31 sen. Rate ini kita darab dengan kuantiti yaitu 106.84, kita akan mendapat nilai untuk lean concrete bagi foundation sahaja adalah Rp39.350.24 slide seterusnya, reinforcement for footing. Bagi reinforcement saya akan menerangkan tentang Y16 yaitu high tensile deform bar, dan mesin 1 tan anak Y16 adalah berharga 3.130. 1 kg tying wire berharga RM5. Tying wire untuk 1 tan berharga RM1.000 dan subtotal kita akan tambah harga 1 tan Y16 dan juga 1 tan tying wire, kita akan mendapat subtotal sebanyak 3.160. Lalu wastage for reinforcement dan spacer block ialah 5%. Ini juga kita akan assume dan kita mendapat sebanyak RM158. 3 subtotal yang kita perolehi tadi kita tambah dengan wastage, kita akan memperolehi RM3.318. Seterusnya kita cerita tentang labor constant. Handle dan assemble Y16 ini dibayar sebanyak RM550. General labor tying, mengikat dan memasang spacer block berharga RM68. Kita bahagi dengan 8 hari, lalu kita mendapat RM25.55. Maka total labor rate per tan kita akan tambah 550 dengan 25.55, kita akan mendapat 572.50 sen. Seterusnya machinery, bar bending ini kita sewa sebanyak RM450 satu bulan. Lalu kita bahagi dengan hari, kita mendapati RM15. Kita bahagi dengan jam, kita mendapati RM100.88. Pemotongan selama 20 jam juga kita mendapat RM37.60. Seterusnya overhead dan profit. Total rate kita akan tambah material rate, labor rate, machinery rate, dan kita akan mendapati RM3.907.38 Malaysia. Overhead dan profit juga adalah 15%. Kita darab dengan 15 bahagi 100, kita akan dapati 586.11. Total rate for reinforcement untuk Y16 saja kita akan tambah total rate dan overhead dan profit, kita akan dapati 4.493.49 sen. Maka ini merupakan rate untuk Y16 bagi footing sahaja. Total tan yang diperlukan, kuantiti yang ada setelah dikira ialah 9.576 tan. Kita darab dengan rate yang kita dapati tadi, kita akan perolehi 43.029.66. Seterusnya, ini merupakan reinforcement for footing yaitu loop Y10. dan 1 tan berharga sebanyak 3.280, dan tying wire tetap sama seperti tadi, dan kita akan membuat jalan pengiraan yang sama, dan juga kuantitinya yang diperlukan bagi Y10 untuk loop adalah 1.016 tan. Rate yang kita perolehi adalah 4.672.45. Total amount yang kita perolehi hanya untuk Y10 bagi footing adalah 4.747.21 ringgit Malaysia. Ini pula reinforcement for column stump yang menggunakan mild steel round bar R8. 1 tan berharga 3.230 yang dinyatakan di online surveyor. Tying wire tetap sama, kita akan memperolehi material total bagi per tan adalah 3.423 ringgit. Jalan kerja pengiraan juga tetap sama seperti yang kita lakukan sebelum ini. Structure, steel fabricate, handling and assemble juga nilainya sama 550, dan general labor tying RM25.55. Total labor rate per tan 572.50 sen. Harga mesin juga tetap sama 450 per month, dan total rate bagi R8 ini kita akan mendapati sebanyak 4.612.08. R8 ini memerlukan 0.448 tan, maka kita darab dengan rate tadi, kita akan memperolehi RM2.066.21. Ini merupakan formwork for footing, juga didapati daripada online surveyor. Formwork ketebalan 12 mm, kualiti tinggi, berharga RM52. Satu bundle kayu support 1x2 sebanyak 8 panjang, berharga RM1.627.65. Dianggarkan wastage for formwork dan timber support adalah 15%. 1 meter formwork adalah sebanyak 0.06 meter cube timber, dan kegunaan untuk satu formwork adalah sebanyak 6 kali. Lalu plywood kita bahagi dengan 52, kita bagi dan 2.973, kita akan memperolehi RM17.49 per meter square untuk plywood. Support juga 1.627.69, darab 0.06 kita perolehi 97.66. Maka subtotal material ini kita tambah semua, kita akan mendapat 115.15 sen. Wastage juga dianggar sebanyak 15, kita akan perolehi 17.27. Nails and oil berharga RM10. Penggunaan adalah sebanyak 6 kali, kita akan perolehi 142.42 sen. Rate untuk material sahaja adalah 23.74. Pekerja labor rate untuk carpenter, ia merupakan skilled worker dan dibayar sebanyak 138 sehari, dan dibahagi kepada 8, kita akan memperolehi 6.9 bagi labor rate untuk meter square. Total rate kita akan tambah material rate dan labor rate, kita akan perolehi RM30.64. Profit adalah sebanyak 15%, dan kita perolehi 4.60 sen. Dan total rate for formwork kita akan tambah semua. Total rate dan profit kita akan perolehi 35.24 sen. Kuantiti yang diperlukan untuk formwork bagi footing adalah 247.9 meter square, dan rate adalah sebanyak 35.24. Kita darabkan dan kita akan memperolehi sebanyak RM873.36. Concrete for footing and column stump. Konkrit ini kita menggunakan G35, dan rate yang telah ditentukan oleh klien adalah RM303 untuk 1 meter cube. Dan shrinkage dan wastage kita perolehi 20%. kita mengassume 20% dan kita akan memperolehi Rp60.60. Total rate for concrete material adalah 363, di mana kita tambah shrinkage and wastage dan juga rate. Machinery kita menggunakan mobile crane berharga 600 satu hari, termasuk diesel, dan juga assume work bagi 8 jam kita akan perolehi untuk mesin sahaja Rp75, concrete trip adalah 15, dan kita akan memperolehi RM bagi 6 meter cube dalam 1 jam adalah 2.5. Productivity ini kita juga assume 3.5. Rate of machine kita akan tambah ke semuanya dan kita akan memperolehi 407.86. Sebagai tambahan, ketika konkret G35 kita akan menggunakan Robin Vibrator 38 mm diameter dan harganya adalah 1.350. Ini merupakan harga mesin baru. Seterusnya, manpower harga semi skill worker adalah Rp75 satu hari, dan kita akan bahagi kepada 8 jam, kita akan perolehi Rp9.38. Kita pemasangan konkret dan pengletakan konkret ke foundation adalah sebanyak 6, kita juga assume, dan rate of labor adalah Rp56.25. Money, overhead, and profit, total rate, material rate kita akan tambah dengan machinery rate, dan labor rate kita akan perolehi Rp827.71. Profit adalah 15%, dan kita akan darab dengan profit dan bahagi 100, kita akan perolehi Rp124.16. Total rate tambah dengan profit, kita akan peroleh total rate for concrete work sebanyak 951.87. Maka total konkret yang diperlukan, kuantiti konkret G35 diperlukan adalah 85.63 meter cube, dan kita darab dengan rate yang kita perolehi tadi, dan kita akan mendapat amount untuk konkret footing dan kolom sahaja adalah sebanyak Rp81.508.63. Sekian saja daripada saya, Carvinton. Terima kasih.
Last but not least, conclusion. In conclusion, this project is able to be executed by the company. A contract has been signed between KTI Sendirian Berhad and CAB Construction, and the total cost is ringgit only. And based on the document tender, this project started on 23 September 2020 and has been completed within 243 days, which is on 23 May 2021. The retention sum limit stated is 10% and limit to 5% of the contract sum. That is all from our group. Thank you.